Good morning, buckaroos. Are you as surprised as we are to find us on your YouTube screen this morning? My glasses are fogging up. Anyways, I'm Love Gigi.
And I'm Der Mask.
And we're here because we haven't made a video in so long, but we have lots to say. So let's talk about some pop news and other wonderment going on in society as a whole. First of all, we'd be douchebags if we didn't start out with a heartfelt congratulations for Kim and Kanye. Good job, Kim. You spread him. He seeded you.
And he won't be coming back.
She had a pussy and she sold it for cash.
That should be the kid's name.
Cash with K. Because that's what's going to be making them. Lots of it.
Pussy for cash, that.
Pussy for cash. Anyways, yeah. The only good thing, we just have to watch them be annoying for just a little bit. Because somebody's going to get sick of somebody. I don't know who it's going to be.
Oh, I think he's already sick of her. He spends hardly any time around her.
Well,
like
he hasn't left her side, according to Grandma Chris.
He basically pined for her, wrote songs about her. He banged her, and then he's never around.
He was a real asshole because you never saw him at all during her pregnancy. He's like the dick that shows up when Thanksgiving dinner's at 6 o'clock. He shows up at 5:59 with his plate. All right.
Right.
Anything I can do? No, asshole. It's already done.
Well,
Thanks. Have a seat.
He's got such a pleasant demeanor.
Yeah, the guy. Hey, Kanye, happy birthday. Don't talk to me.
Yeah, he's a real douchebag.
He's a real douchebag. But anyway, the kid will make $1 billion. Everyone's like, they're going to make fun. That poor girl's going to get made fun of with that name. What, you think she's playing at the playground down the street with your kids?
She's not going to New York Public School number 135. She's going to be going to, like, a private school where she probably has a bodyguard. Like, I can see.
And she's going to school with other famous kids named Apple and Douche and Picture Frame and Blanket. Like,
oh yeah, like
anybody like Sam.
Anybody named Bob or Sam or Jenny is going to be made fun of. There, your parents are poor.
Your name's Susie. Ew.
Yeah. So yeah, the kid's going to be made fun of. Yeah, just like
she'll be made fun of all the way to the bank, like all the other Kardashians. Grandma Chris pimps out. But anyway, when they break up, that's when the fun's gonna start. Because Kanye, who refers to himself as a god, there's no way he's going easy, no matter if he's tired of her, if she's tired of him. Oh, big battle. Anyway, wasted too much time talking about her. Let's talk about somebody who's a big fan of Kanye West. Paula Deen.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
All right, the thing that really bothered me about the whole Paula Deen thing isn't what Paula Deen said. I'm a little embarrassed to say, but I was watching The Talk, and they were all like aghast that Paula Deen would use a word like that. Like Sharon Osbourne.
Ever.
Sharon Osbourne, you never used a racial slur or an inappropriate comment ever in all your time together.
Really, your Ozzy on a tour bus has never referred to somebody about their Mexican heritage.
Yeah,
Did he piss on the Alamo? I'm sure he
he pissed on the Alamo. I'm sure he didn't say, "Oh, I bet the Mexican Americans aren't gonna like this." He was based that sounded very Australian.
I like that.
But yeah, I'm sure he's made at least she's been the presence of it, and they all were shocked. Like
she says, what did she say? Paula Deen disgusting. I'm ashamed. Really? Okay, first of all, that is a bad word. Nobody should say it.
In public. Nobody.
Well, nobody should say it, kids. But to be like, oh, I'm aghast. You've never referred to anybody from a physical, from a racial, Mexican, Chinese, Japanese.
You've never said the word midget in your life. You've never used the word Oriental. You're trying to tell me that you've never used any kind of
Oriental's bad?
Yeah, you're not supposed to say Oriental.
I had no idea.
Things are Oriental, like rugs and
But you're telling me that in all her wheelings and dealings as a big rock star manager, she never referred to somebody as like, because they were Jewish perhaps in Hollywood? Oh, no. How rude. Like, if everyone would just lighten up and just say, you know, we've all said something about someone else, even every one of you. So to rake Paula Deen over the coals, speaking of that, she's probably got all her pots and pans yanked from Kohl's since everyone else is pulling out Kanye.
But the thing that also bothered me was, what's Cheryl's last name? The one who looks like a cartoon Pez dispenser?
Cheryl Underwood.
Cheryl Underwood says about Kanye West's child, well, all black people give their kids funny names. You know, if a white person said that, they'd be nailing them to a cross as we speak.
If Sarah Gilbert had said
that, they would have all dropped their coffee mugs and spit out their Java. But she says it and it's okay. I'm sure she's never used the word honky or peckerwood or anything like that.
Well, plus my other thing is like, well, it's okay for rappers to say it, and the rappers will take money from the wiggy kids. Sorry, I guess that's a...
Yeah, the white kids who want to be urban but don't want to be urban.
Yeah, they'll take the money for them, but hey, don't sing the words that I'm saying or else that's blah, blah, blah. By the way, I think I just lost my Tampax endorsement when I said wiggy.
And you know what? You can't have it both ways. If one group can't say it, then nobody can say it.
Who are you to make the rules?
Right. In other words,
feel their pain.
If a guy's black, he can say it. What if he's half black? Can he only say it half the time?
Yes. You can only say half the word.
What if he can only say
grr?
Grr.
What's up, grr?
So it's really disgusting about the whole... And you know what? She made a bad comment in public, and she screwed up.
She's apologized.
She's apologized tearfully, which I'm sure... And you know what? That means that word's probably tossed around that house every 5 seconds. But that's her business.
When I was young and we went to see relatives in a little dinky town in Mississippi, I'm old, but I'm not Paula Deen old, but there was still like the old laundry room, the old laundromat had 2 separate entrances. They never bothered taking down the blacks and whites sign. I mean, I can kind of understand that if that's like the era you've grown up in, that's just like calling an orange kind of. Not that you don't have to eventually grow out of it, and not if you're a public figure. You gotta be smarter, but come on, it's Paula Deen. She eats sticks of butter. She's not like Mensa. Anyways, so we watched a lot of reality TV, by us. And speaking of midget, Der Mask is sitting on a pillow right now.
Thanks. You know, the magic behind the cameras now.
Oh, can I just also say something before we talk about reality TV? Sofia Vergara and her freaking Instagram and Twitter selfies. Like, we get it. We get it. You're hot.
You're carefree.
Here is me on a swing. Wee.
Yeah. The only good thing about it is I've seen less and less of her. So that's kind of nice, because there was a time where you couldn't check out at the ShopRite without seeing her face on pretty much every magazine, from Shape to Self to Cosmo to Us.
I'm too busy counting my money, Jay.
I mean, you know, good for you. You make a lot of money, but
good for you. You've got a flat stomach.
But the selfie shit, you know, it's annoying when teenage girls do it. When you do it, it's just really uber annoying.
Miley Cyrus is at the age where she's almost... The only person who is welcome to post as many selfies as she wants is Amanda Bynes. Post on, because it is funny.
Yeah.
By the way, she called her mom ugly on Twitter last night.
Well, she calls everybody ugly. I want to know who is not ugly to Amanda Bynes. Because evidently, didn't she want Drake to murder her vagina, and now Drake's ugly?
But now Drake's cute again.
Why is Drake cute again? See, I want to know what constitutes good looking to Amanda Bynes. If somebody would like to enlighten us on that.
Since Amanda Bynes is embarking on her, what's her big rap career, is she allowed to say the N-word?
Oh, I don't think so.
Well, that's not fair. Anyway, what were we watching the other day that I was livid about? What the hell?
Was it the newlyweds living in the house?
Couples therapy.
Couples therapy.
Again, Tyler and Caitlin from Teen Mom, the voice of reason in every show they're on.
I'd like to take issue with something that, and I'd just like to say that I pretty much like Flavor Flav, but there was something that he said that really pissed me off. When they said that they gave up the baby, he was like, well, why didn't you keep the baby? You know, they were 15 or 16. You know, not every culture thinks it's okay to raise a baby.
That's what grandmas are for.
Right. Maybe they didn't have anybody.
Well, their grandmas were on crack. The baby's grandma was on crack.
And they realized, well, we can't raise this baby. We can't financially do it. We made a mistake.
By the way, that was right after the, hey, hi, I'm Tyler, and this is Caitlin. Oh, you gave up your baby?
Yeah, that was like the first thing he said. And, you know, who the hell are you? You know, not everybody can just yell, yeah, boy, and everyone's like, oh, okay, well, you know, like, other people have to take responsibility for their actions. And, you know, maybe they had no one to turn to. Maybe you had people to turn to. But that was just such a shitty comment. Like,
it was.
Like, how come, why do you always wear a friggin' clock around your neck? Why do you always yell and scream when you're indoors and people are talking at normal levels? You know, giving up the baby, I think, was the smartest thing they did. They are the voice of reason on that show.
When the porn pass came on, and there were all the other guys who, by the way, are in their freaking 40s
and
acting like assholes.
Mm-hmm. So, and the other thing was the biggest douchebag on that show, in deference to what Flavor Flav says, is the Girls Gone Wild guy.
Oh, I was going to say Flavor's wife.
No, Flavor's wife is a ray of sunshine compared to... That guy is the biggest dick in the world. Like, the way he talks to that wife of his...
He called her a cunt.
Well, here's the thing.
She didn't hop to and make the bed.
She probably can't meet a guy that makes as much money as that guy does, but the trade-off is she can definitely... She's good looking enough that she can snare a rich guy and be treated 30,000 times better.
But she's gonna... Even if she gets a rich guy, it's going to be a downgrade from Joe Francis rich. But you know what?
If she gets half his shit when she divorces him.
They're not married.
Oh, that's right. They're just a couple.
Just a couple.
Well, if I were her, I'd play the yes sir, no sir game, get married, and then leave his ass.
Yeah, I mean, but he can't really, like, frickin' bitch about her eating disorder when he is, like, on top of her like a hawk about things. Oh, you fell. He swings her around. She's like 100 pounds. She falls on the ground, and then he tells her, hey, that's your fault. OJ used to do that?
Or you're embarrassing me. He said, first of all, she weighs what, 100 pounds with rocks in her pockets. You're spinning her around, and then you let go and she falls down. You know, when a little kid falls down...
Get up, you're embarrassing me.
Right, little kid falls down, you can pop back up. Once you get into your, like, I don't know, mid-20s, early 30s, getting up from a fall down is a little bit harder.
Oh, hey, and I know your hand's scraped, but I want you to climb this rock wall and don't let me down. Like, no wonder she has an eating disorder. Stop being a controlling asshole.
Yeah, he is definitely the biggest asshole on that show.
The other guy on the show, Chingy, I don't even know.
I've never heard of him. I mean, but then again, I've never heard... When we watch Saturday Night Live, like, next week's musical guest, The Rocket Crew. Like, I've never heard of any of these. I just made that one up.
Oh, I was going to say.
Because it's just something I've never heard of, you know? Like Verve and the Verve Pipe.
But our reality TV is just getting worse and worse. The Toddlers and Tiaras, which I say I'm never going to watch because it makes me mad. I watched it, of course. Mm-hmm. The lady that gives her kid the Tinker tea, that poor little girl. She's just like, can I have it? I need it now.
Is that the one that's like 2?
Yeah, she's like 2, and her mom's giving her coffee, and that makes you spazzy. She gives her Mountain Dew mixed with sweet tea, mixed with giant pixie sticks.
Didn't she just get like an endorsement deal too?
They're talking about her having an energy drink for kids. Reward bad behavior. Because kids need to be drinking caffeine and pixie sticks, and well, enjoy it when your kid has a freaking heart attack or becomes obese or gets diabetes.
And you'll be hearing from
Wilford Brimley.
Oh, and just as a side note, last night Gigi and I were watching The Elephant Man, and there was a period in the movie where the Elephant Man is at the hospital, and he has to sleep sitting up, and he's just snoring like pretty loud. And at that point, my beautiful wife just says without even looking at me, basically he makes less noise than you do. So I have snoring habits that are worse than the Elephant Man.
You think this mask is bad? You should see the one he wears to sleep so he doesn't stop breathing.
Yeah, the CPAP machine.
It literally has a trunk. He is the Elephant Man.
Yeah, I pretty much am the Elephant Man.
But yeah, by the way, Elephant Man, I would rather have sex with him with the lights on, completely naked, not just like the
loincloth,
wedding day Jewish whole cloth. That wasn't racist or anything.
That's cultural.
Than any of the guys from any of the Pawn shows. Except for the old man.
Wow.
Except for the old man. Because Rick.
Even Rick? Rick is disgusting?
I think I'd go for the Elephant Man before Rick. I mean, you can find a bald dump anywhere, but I mean, when are you going to get a chance you can find somebody who's that any place, but where are you going to find a guy who has to wear a car, what's it called?
Car cover as a hat.
Car cover as a hat. Never. And it's like a fat girl. He's going to try harder. Elephant Man. He tries harder.
Well,
all right.
I think that should before we wrap up, I think we should talk about a few songs.
No, that's a whole different thing.
Okay, never mind.
I wasn't even finished with my thing.
Go ahead. You were talking about the car cover.
No, I had more things to talk about reality show-wise.
Oh, keep going.
Pregnant and dating? Really?
Yeah, that's
That's your priority? By the way, when someone was online dating...
No, this wasn't even online dating. This was so many years ago.
Back of a paper?
It was actually an ad in some publication by the shore. It was... I forget what it was called, but
it was probably called Hooker Files.
No, it was something like you basically had to call in. This was before cell phones.
It was
too.
like the Pina Colada song. You write the ad and then you write the...
So I wrote an ad, and this girl responded to it, and I'm talking to her, and on the phone, and conversation's going really well, and then she just casually mentions that she's 9 months pregnant.
I casually mentioned I'm allergic to tomatoes, so we might not have to eat it. We might not be able to eat Italian.
Yeah, I mean, you casually mentioned that maybe, I don't know, you don't drive the best car in the world. Or you casually mention...
I'm missing a pinky finger.
Or you work nights. She casually mentions that she's 9 months pregnant. Now, I didn't just slam the phone down. I basically just said, it's pretty much hard enough meeting somebody for the first time. I really don't know if I could deal with somebody being 9 months pregnant on top of it. If that makes me insensitive, well, I guess that makes me insensitive. But you're 9 months pregnant and your priority is answering this slob's personal ad?
So what, you're just sitting there at dinner with your big belly out and you're like, so I like the beach and feel. That's wasn't there a movie made out of that? There should be. When you answer a personal ad and then the chick goes into labor and hijinks ensue.
Yeah,
Martin Short's the doctor.
Or you show up and the girl's 10 years older than her picture. That happened to me too.
It wasn't me.
It definitely was not you.
And, excuse me, what about the I'm naked and alone? That's like my childhood.
That's me every day when I come home from the pool.
I thought they finally made a Lifetime movie about my youth.
Naked and
Afraid.
Naked and Afraid.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, but who does that?
Yeah, that show.
We have Naked and Afraid every time Der Mask comes inside from being in the pool. He strips down, so he's naked, and then I'm afraid.
I'm walking around doing casual things, like having something to eat, checking my emails. Usually I live with my sneakers on, which is very odd.
You're sitting on like vinyl chairs in the dining room. Like, you like the way your balls stick to them or something?
Balls really don't stick to them.
Oh, la-di-da. Yeah, let's see. Oh, wow, 20 minutes. So let's wrap this up. That's it. All right, I'm finished talking.
Me too. Next time, I also want to talk about $1 Million Listing.
Friedrich and his face is
Yeah, I really want to talk about that show next time because if I, ever
went homo, he'd pick Friedrich. Oh, is
No.
that not what you were saying? Because that's information I have.
no, he's way too picky. I couldn't be with Friedrich.
I'm not saying you're having a date. I'm saying it's
What, to bone him?
you've got the 3 guys from $1 Million listing,
Oh, then it's hands down. It's Friedrich.
right?
Yeah.
Then little tater tot, El Pino.
Yeah, and then Ryan. Or actually, I'd rather be alone than be with Ryan.
Wow.
He's a real kind of a dildo.
I'd rather be alone than be with someone else and be lonely. He's a dick. He doesn't seem like he'd be very sensitive to your needs.
No, not at all.
Yeah, we'll talk $1 Million listing and
music next time.
and music and maybe some housewives getting up to. Hey, let's do our impersonation of the scene, the teaser they're showing from Real Housewives of New Jersey. Do you want to be Rosie or do you want to be Teresa?
I'll be Rosie.
Okay, we're in a restaurant. Here's the scene. We're in a restaurant. There's people all around, and we've gotten together for a powwow.
This is the last time you bring the food into the fodder. That's pretty much the scene.
Thank you.
I really don't want to see that show because
He's gonna see it because you always do.
I'll probably see it.
All right,
But
so anyway, we missed a lot of things, but we haven't made a video in a while, so we wanted to catch up so you guys could see how much older and fatter we're getting. I know that's important to you.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you can find us on Twitter. I'm at Ask Love Gigi.
And I'm at Ask Der Mask.
And that's it. We'll try and do videos that are shorter but more frequently because we've got things to say and you need to hear them. Toodle-doo.
Adios.
Buckaroo.